Hi, my friends. So, I had posted about conflict and I wanted to know your experience about it. And some of you replied, and one of you had a question about how to forgive yourself for the past experiences you've had with conflict and how you showed up in those things. First thing with this is to understand you're not alone. I've shown up in horrible ways in the conflict in my life in the past, and I've done some pretty hurtful and harmful things. And here, after owning it, becoming very, very invested in owning it, being accountable, and then working to repair the impact I created and accept the consequence that emerged from that, it became an internal work. So initially, there's all this shame and this condemnation towards myself. I'm bad. Look at me. I'm not a safe person. This kind of stuff. That is actually what promoted and continued to create the unhealthy reactions to conflict. Is how I saw myself. How I saw myself as the problem, as the bad guy. And that the conflict and their feelings and experience was affirming this internalized I'm bad perspective. And so, rather than moving towards forgiveness for myself alone, I had to come to a different identity or self-concept for myself about who I was. And then I could say, I'm showing up in a certain way that's not aligned with who I want to be. So part of forgiving myself has become about becoming the person I want to be in that particular area of my life, in this instance, conflict. I want to be the emotionally safe person. I want to be emotionally available. I want to have the capacity to regulate and soothe my anxiety or my panic, my shame or my guilt. Those are the things I started focusing on. And in that process, I also opened up to acknowledging my entire context. I come from a violent history, and I did not have tools, I did not have capacity, I did not have knowledge to react any other way than the way I did. And that my correction, my work, was to acknowledge that and then to change it. This allowed me to give myself grace, to give myself permission, to let myself off the hook of condemnation and go, you know what? I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to become more effective in being safe in conflict. And I'm going to choose to trust myself in this. So instead of self-forgiveness, I decided to choose who I wanted to be and build trust in that, build the skills in it, and then show up that way. And then came this kind of like, it's okay. I love me. We went through some shit. We're going to be okay. That's how I've handled that.